really, really have to go to the washroom. And would love these speeches to finish, so I promise I'm going to be brief. But I obviously want to echo everything. I want to echo everything that Caroline said about everybody here today and how much it means to us, particularly those of you who traveled so far to be here with us from halfway around the world in some cases. And we're so honored to have you here, and we thank you so much for coming. Yes, please. I want to thank Mom for her amazing speech, which was very touching. I also want to thank both you and Carl, Dad, for your endless support of Caroline and I in so many different ways. We wouldn't have been able to have the wedding we had today with so many people that we love here in such a beautiful place without your support, and that meant so much to us. And I know for a fact that just bringing me into your family is already quadrupled your grocery bill, so I thank you for that very much. The family eats like birds, and I feel guilty every time I go over there. But of all the things I have to thank you for, the most important obviously is for your daughter. Getting to know you these past almost 4 years has just given me amazing insight into why Caroline is the person that she is. Because I see so much of both you and Carl in her. I see Carl's determination, his confidence, his strength, and his passion for travel and life. And Mom, I see in her your intelligence, your grace, your beauty, and your unbelievable kindness and warmth. The two of you have welcomed me into your life with such open arms. And we're going to have our own toast and our own celebration with Carl a little later on. But for now, I just want to say, Mom, Dad, I love you, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
And speaking of your family, I want to say thank you to the entire Kim clan for being so amazingly welcoming. From the first time I met you, it was just immediately apparent how close you all are, and it reminded me so much of my family. I just immediately felt at home. In fact, I knew I was welcome for my first family gathering at Carl and Me Sons to celebrate Caroline's call to the UK bar. I met Uncle Bob, and I introduced myself to Uncle Bob. I said, Uncle Bob, I'm Kevin. He said, Kevin, nice to meet you. And then he handed me a shucking knife and said, oysters are out back. So he immediately put me to work, and I immediately felt at home. You're such a warm, loving group in the way that you help each other and support each other and honor each other. And on that note, I want to make a toast to the two people who played the biggest role in making each of our families as close as we are. Caroline's grandmother, Halmony, and my grandmother, sorry, I'm not going to make it through it, but Nora Burns. Nora Burns is here, who I also love very much, Nora Keeney. Yeah, I also want to say thank you to Nora Burns, but hot mic, real hot mic there. Turn off your cell phone, you figures, everybody.
Just pissed off, Gammy.
Yeah.
That was Gammy right there. Hallie and Gammy, the people that are still the forces to this day that keep our family together, we love you. So cheers. You guys have figured out that the Keeneys are criers right now, so I'm guaranteeing we'll make it through this next part. I want to thank my mom, the greatest and most strongest person I've ever known. You supported me and all of us, Mom, in everything we've ever done. When I was a kid, I thought you were a superhero, and as I've grown up, and now I know. I don't know how you've done everything you've done, despite working full-time in a very busy career, raising 3 kids. I can count on one hand the number of times you missed any of our baseball games, basketball games, volleyball games. It may have been 0, but there must have been overlap between the 3 of us sometimes, so let's say 5. Well, Mom, you've been my sounding board whenever I needed advice. You're always the first person I call when I need someone to talk to or run something by. You're my mom, but you're also my friend. And because of you, I was able to grow up into the type of person that could land somebody like Caroline. So I'm sorry that I made you wait so long for one of your kids to get married. I'd like to point out I was the first. But as you can see, it was worth the wait. Mom, I love you so much. I also want to thank our MC, Big Ed, who, Big Shocker, did an awesome job today. As Caroline said, yeah. When we were planning the wedding, there were so many difficult decisions to make, but the easiest one, as Caroline said, was who we wanted to MC it. I said, how about Ed? And she said, that's perfect, and then off we were. Ed, thanks for not only today, but for doing so much with Mike to put together the bachelor party. It was really important to me that the guys all got to meet each other before today and know each other, and you made sure that happened. You're an amazing guy, an amazing friend, a walking encyclopedia of movie quotes, a slightly better golfer than I am. And I know that mine and Caroline's day wouldn't have been the same without you being a big part of it, so thanks, Eddie. Sean, Mark, and Rick, and by inclusion, all the Sudbury boys here today. You're my 3 oldest friends. We've been friends for almost 20 years. We've done a lot and been through a lot together, starting way back in high school. Getting our fake IDs taken, trying to buy beer underage at the beer store, sneaking on golf courses and getting chased off by the marshal, making weekend trips to the UK without any place to stay, and as somebody alluded to earlier, Mom selling us out, stealing a giant inflatable cow, and then writing a ransom note to the paper about it. It was Geisha that wrote the ransom note. But now that I think of it, you guys have been present for the stupidest decisions I've ever made in my life. So it's only fitting that you guys are the ones standing by my side for the smartest. See how I turn that? There we go. And on a serious note, I know with kids and distance and school and work and everything, we don't get to see each other as much as we'd like, or at least as much as I'd like. But when we are together, it always seems like we just picked up from where we left off, no matter how long it's been. And it means the world to me that you 3 were there when I called you and asked you to be with me today, and you didn't hesitate. So I love you guys so much, and thanks so much for being here. Almost done. Mike, I don't want to say too much about Mike, because I have to save my best stuff for his wedding, for my speech at his wedding this coming September, where I'm just going to go ahead and assume that I'm the best man for that one. It would be pretty rude if I wasn't, seeing as my brother, and I asked you, but it's your special day, you make the call. I won't say too much about Mike, one, because I won't get through it, but just to say, Mike, you're not only my brother, you are my best friend. It's not usually the case that it's the older brother that looks up to the younger brother, but it's not usually the case that you got a younger brother like Mike. You're one of your mom in brother form. You're the kindest, warmest person I know. You guys are you're such a compassionate, amazing person who, we talk on the phone all the time, and I don't tell you enough how much I love you, but you are the best man a guy could hope for. Thanks for everything you've done, and for just being you, and I love you, Mike, and thanks for today. And most importantly, I want to say a few words about my new wife. As most of you now know, Caroline and I first met while waiting for the elevator at our old apartment building where we lived on the same floor, the same apartment building that our very good friends Jenny and Craig live a few floors above us. And while that first meeting may have been fate, I'd be lying if I said the following meetings didn't involve some planning on my part. See, Caroline lived at the far end of the hall, but I had the advantage of living right in front of the elevators. So we both worked downtown, we both walked to work, so I would be able to time my departure to when I heard a ding outside the door, and I would jump out and close the door and go to the elevator and just hope it would be Caroline waiting. Now I'm not going to lie, there's a bunch of times where it wasn't. And I'd end up riding 18 floors with someone who was both probably confused and offended that I looked so disappointed.